Well, if it doesn't actually work with, sometimes some people are just not suited for eggs and dairy. Simple as that. So, um, I mean, I'm a very big dairy person and consume raw milk. Um, so, and quite a lot of eggs. But some people are just, due to the proteins, just can't handle them. Simple as that. So, or the sugars, lactose intolerance. But the lactose intolerance is also an issue of the lack of lactobacillus. When you come out of your mummy's birth canal, you get coated with lactobacillus. The problem is when you have an exposure to a lot of antibiotics through your life, and then sort of mimicking compounds like glyphosate, which is an antibiotic mimicking compound. Since you're new, I'll actually explain it to you. Monsanto's has actually got a patent in the patent office of the United States and many other countries, and they've actually patented glyphosate as an antibiotic because it does have antibiotic properties. So yes, so consuming a lot of grains, especially GMO and other things that people have done for many years, will basically end up really wrecking your gut microbiome. And causing a lot of loss of specific types of bacterial strains. It's believed in countries like North America, the levels can be as high as 90%, where people have lost a lot of the important lactobacillus strains like the Reuteri, the Rhamnosus, and many others, plus the very low in Bifidobacteria infantis, which both those with Reuteri play a very important role in cleansing the small intestine and keeping other pathogens under control out of the small intestine. But unfortunately, up to 90% of the North American population, it is believed, either have very small amounts of these beneficial bacteria in their microbiome or none. So that means they have a lot of problems and reactivity with pathogens and stuff like that, let alone these other two strains play an important role synergistically in allowing some of the other lactobacillus types to grow and populate, which means that if you don't have enough of those, is your lactose intolerant due to the absence of, obviously the absence of the lactase enzyme because of pasteurization, but also the lack of certain bacterial strains that are very important in breaking it down the sugars, the milk sugars. So that may be more of an issue for a lot of people. Unfortunately, a lot of people have been exposed heavily to these compounds that have, let's say, put a wrecking ball through their gut microbiome for a very long time. Taurine is very important in actually resetting the gut microbiome. I've done some videos on certain issues with the gut and talking about certain types of a specific Swedish type of Reuteri that actually has antipathogenic. It'll actually knock for six things like H. pylori, C. diff, and a number of others pathogenic bacteria, and actually improve the small intestine gut sort of microbiome situation. It will reduce the sort of pathogenics to very low levels, together with Bifido infantis. But that's another video that I'll be doing later on to cover some of that information in that regard. So a lot of people that have done kefir and have done basically the Reuteri have found relief and actually able to tolerate these foods again. So it usually takes a number of months, unfortunately, but it does work in the end, as long as you're not bombarding your body with antibiotic mimicking compounds of any sort. Can be a problem.